Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and
I'm so
gentlemen.
glad that they brought Grinchberry back. I was so saddened. But hi, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
I'm letting important people know that we're live because they want to watch. Idiot. Anyway, I am also happy they
Wow.
brought back.
Anyways, yeah. So the other one is elf candy, which tastes like jelly beans. I haven't had it, but this I love. I love
Elf
cranberry
candy,
juice
huh?
though, and this is cranberry flavored.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Cranberry punch.
Cranberry.
I will be submitting my flavor tomorrow. I'm so excited.
You like submitting?
Do you want a sneak peek?
Yes.
It's gonna be called Palm Blast.
This is just for the people watching the pre-show.
Gonna
And
be
not for
called
Chris, because Chris is
Palm
in there.
Blast.
Chris doesn't get to see the preview, but other people do.
Here, Chris, you look at the camera, right? All right,
What?
sneak peek. Here we go.
All blurry. You're messing up things.
And then the camera never focused for the rest of the podcast.
I think he has it on manual focus.
That's pretty sick, though.
Yeah, I'm
That's
excited.
cool.
Oh, that was weak. I thought it was gonna be much better.
Thank you for joining us early, and there's you're not your welcome, your thank you gift for it.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Popcorn Tribunal. Oh, what's up?
Shit!
The timing
Look at
was
that timing.
The timing was precise.
You kicked my
What is
headphones.
this new wallpaper on your phone, by the way?
It's also from Dragon Age.
It's like a dude with his head back and his tongue out.
It is. Hold on, I'll show you.
Don't scroll through your photos right next to me. I don't want to see those pictures.
There's nothing weird. There's like a character in the game who has a demon, and so it's supposed to be like he's got the demon.
Fucking weird.
It is funny. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show.
Oh, go ahead. Are you hosting now?
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just. It's a happy Wednesday. Unless you happen to be the CEO of an unnamed medical firm,
Jesus
then
Christ.
it's kind of a rough Wednesday,
All right,
isn't it?
cut the live feed.
Wow.
Chris loved it.
God damn it.
Listen, I'm not saying anything specific. I'm just saying it seems like a rough day to be a
I mean,
CEO
you
in
can say
America.
eat the rich, just don't bring up the
Well,
murder of
you know
a
what
CEO
happens
of
to
a
animals
company.
before we eat them, right? Anyways,
Jesus
welcome to
Christ.
Popcorn Tribunal.
Red rum.
It'll be lovely when we can actually keep some sponsors of the show.
Glitch loves it.
No, Glitch doesn't.
The CEO of Glitch exempt. They're cool. CEO of Space Panda exempt. They're cool.
Ironically, the same person.
My mother disappointed in me.
Yeah, good call, Mom. I agree with you.
Chris, very proud though.
There's no point in celebrating anyone's death in any way, shape, or form, unless it's Elon Musk burning to death in his Tesla.
Ah.
There goes
Right?
our
There you
our
go.
Tesla sponsorship.
Ooh.
I don't give a shit.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Durex.
Riven. This portion of the podcast sponsored by Riven. Our locks unlock when you're on fire.
Did you say Riven?
Riven.
Rivian?
Yeah, sure that.
You keep touching
Rivian.
my
Fine.
headset.
Hyundai Ioniq. Is that better?
Hyundai. Anyways, we're not a
Thank you.
podcast that talks about politics or assassinations. We're a podcast that
Jesus
talks about
Christ.
pop culture.
From
I
the
said
man
we
who wants a
don't.
murder farm.
Listen, I don't want it. I'm gonna have it.
Did I tell you I got that video edited?
Yeah, you played it for me.
Yeah.
Farming is what keeps America strong.
No, tariffs keep America strong.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh.
Listen, the farm is not a desire, it's a warning.
What?
Anyway, how's it been, buddy?
What? Wait, what did you just say?
Nothing. So movies are cool, and I
Okay,
like
yeah.
talking about them.
Yeah.
Movies.
Yeah.
Movies, you say?
Movies.
So I stumbled onto Brett Goldstein's podcast, Movies to Die For.
Good segue from the murder farm.
And It's a really cool concept. If you've never listened to it, listen to our podcast and then go listen to his. He had Daisy Ridley on, and so they have this great conversation, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, Daisy, I forgot to tell you, fuck, you've died," and that's the whole concept of the podcast is you've died. So during your life, what movies made you feel this way, or things that's what he does, and it was great. It was a great podcast. So you're a Daisy Ridley Star Wars fan, so I thought
I do love Daisy Ridley.
thought I would tell you that was a good episode to listen to.
Nice. I will check that out after I listen to the most recent episode of Popcorn Tribunal.
Yeah, we should have about 5 or 6 that need to be edited and pushed out. So I'm excited.
After 2 are salvaged.
No,
I thought you said you already salvaged them.
I salvaged the ads from that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, the one
Speaking
is
of ads, let's knock one out of the way right now. As you can see, we look a little different. The screen is probably a little wider. The shot is probably a little wider. It's because we have transitioned from using an iPhone to an OBS bot Tiny 2. Tiny 2 Lite, actually. You don't have the packaging back there, do you?
I probably do.
Okay.
Do you need it?
I mean, it might be nice to show it off. But...
Alrighty, let's go show off this package.
So the OBS bot Tiny 2 Lite, OBS bot Tiny 2 Lite is the thing that's really cool about the company, right? Is it's a small company, just a small group of individuals who go about trying to design. Go back to your booth.
Oh,
go back to your booth.
Like the ghostly specter about to take a Victorian child. Chris appears.
Trying to design cameras to compete with the likes of Logitech and they've done a fairly good job. They're AI powered cameras. There are some really cool new innovations coming out in some of their newer cameras. But definitely check out OBS Bot. They're I believe they're a German company.
They are.
But they've been a lot of fun to deal with. They've been very open to some suggestions that we've sent them around how to do things. You can just ask Blaha. He reads all the Twitter messages before I do.
Oh, the Twitter messages on the shared account that we have for the podcast where you were like, hey, log into this so we can both see the account.
I expected you to tweet from it, which you don't do. Oh, wait, you have once. Let me give you a little credit.
And twice.
3 times a lady.
Yes.
But anyways, it's a 4K camera. I don't think we're running it in 4K right now. But yeah, it's a 4K camera. I also have purchased 2 of the OBS Bot cameras. Not this one, just the mini, which is just a stock. It looks like a GoPro. It's tiny. But the quality of the camera there is excellent as well.
Yeah, we're currently limited on YouTube to 1080 on our stream.
I think
Figure it
Kick
out,
limits
YouTube.
it to 1080 too.
We're not
Also,
important enough yet.
I mean, shit. If you're watching it on a computer, 1080 is probably good enough. Sorry, mom and dad, who are watching it on a TV. It might be 4K. I don't know.
On a TV.
But it'll still look good. So we're really excited about this partnership. It's new. We're trying out a couple different things. Hopefully, along the way, they're going to send us some additional items to kind of test and work with. They have a really cool device. It's a little pricey, so I don't know if we'll get this, but it's like a mobile device, but it allows you to manually control the panning on the camera. This camera has live tracking available. So you can choose who you want it to focus on, and everywhere you move, it'll track you. It's really cool. It's great for streaming, great for gaming, great for podcasting. We're really excited about what this partnership will bring to us. So check them out. Link on our Twitter profile for they're having some great holiday sales right now, like 40% off, which is crazy. And also if you use code popcorn, you'll save like 8 to 10% as well. So that'll cover your tax, which is cool. So it's a little difficult with electronics to offer discounts, but for a small company, 8 to 10% is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it supports the podcast.
Yeah.
Go check them out. Cool. So I need to talk to you about something that's really bothering me.
Okay.
Why the fuck can't you stream Yellowstone?
Yeah, a lot of people have been bringing that up. I don't watch
We are
Yellowstone.
5 episodes in, and I have to wait days to archive episodes of Yellowstone.
Yeah, I don't watch that show specifically because I've heard from people it's kind of a nightmare to be someone who watches that show.
It's a great show. I love it.
Yeah. It's just like, there was like a lot of delays, right? Like is it Kevin Costner in that? Right?
Well, so Tyler Sheridan, who created the show,
Mhm.
agreed to allow Kevin Costner to shoot Horizon,
Yeah.
which was like his big power project. And then they kept delaying the shooting of Yellowstone, which in turn delayed Horizon.
Yeah.
And finally, Kevin Costner just said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
So he's just like fully off of Yellowstone
yeah.
now. Oh, okay. Did they like write him off? Did they kill him?
I cannot say.
Oh, okay. So it would be a spoiler, or
It would be a spoiler.
you know the funny thing that was like he was like Horizon's gonna be this new epic. The part 1 kind of flopped, and I haven't heard anything about part 2.
But have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen part 1. It was okay. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was okay. It was kind of boring. I probably would watch. I need to watch it again because I'm sure I drifted off during it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that was clearly meant to be seen in IMAX or in, Dolby,
Yeah.
high quality theater. It's a theatrical movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't carry over very well on the small screen.
Yeah. Which I mean, I have a problem with a lot of times though, because there's a lot of people who just can't get to a theater for certain movies or have problems.
Timeout.
Okay.
Timeout.
Okay.
How many feet from your home is there a theater?
I don't mean me. I mean there are people who just legitimately can't go to
I'm
the
like,
theater.
I could piss from your house onto the wall of a theater.
Yeah. No, I don't mean for me. I mean
Okay.
there's a lot of people
I thought you were talking about you. I was gonna be like, this Grinchberry. It's a good thing you're wearing black. Because this is red.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you're wearing black because I'm gonna bury you in it.
What?
What?
Jesus Christ.
First victim for the murder farm. No,
What
but
the fuck?
you shouldn't have exposed me to the world like that.
So, anyways, yeah. Yeah, that pisses me off. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, are they just trying to drive like day 1 viewership or something, or like what's the deal with making it that difficult to
I don't know.
stream?
Let's talk a little bit about film criticism.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, when I started this podcast, and I only say I because Tyler is not here, it started off as two guys just drinking and being stupid and watching TV shows and talking about it. Like, what's he doing?
He's looking
Talking about the movies that they were watching, like Mystery Science Theater, right? Just
Sure,
talking
sure,
shit
sure.
about movies. And then somehow we started gaining some traction, and so we evolved
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. We started adding movie news in and things of that sort.
Movie nude.
And then we evolved again. We've had a couple hosts come and go. And now we're kind of at a point where I feel like we're having fairly intelligent conversations.
Change that.
We're not arguing. Can we turn off Chris's mic?
Chris is the one who would have to do
No.
it.
We're not arguing about like
I'll get
what is
closer.
schlock and what isn't.
Sure. Sure.
And don't get me wrong, I miss Tyler. I love Tyler, but like I've been trying to think about where do we go, like where do we evolve as we're nearing the end of the year.
Yeah.
2025 is rolling around. We're dealing with some issues and dealing with studios about award season and screeners and things of that sort because we don't belong to any film journalists association.
Yeah.
So I asked a friend for some constructive criticism about the podcast. And, they said they love what we do. They like what we do. It's fun. We have a fun energy, but they would like to see a little more structure.
Mm-hmm.
Chris has talked about that. You've talked about that. I kind of like the ADD mindset of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that we can continue having fun with it and have a little more structure. So, this is me, Chris, Michael, committing to in season 7, starting in 2025.
Yes.
We will have a structure to the show.
Oh my god, are we gonna name segments?
We're going to have segments. We're
Oh
going
my
to have
god.
structure. That way, Chris can have the ability to produce an actual episode instead of just recording it and then editing it 6 weeks later. And
Chris, would you like between segments when they start and end for me to
no,
give you a
do not.
visual
No.
cue possibly?
I will find a new fucking host. I will end this podcast and start a new one if you ever do that.
I want to
shit
do a
again.
weather segment.
Chris, commit to right now that you won't produce the podcast if I'm off. Say it right now. Do it right now. Say it. Do it. Say it. Do it. Say it, Chris. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Good man.
That's a
piece
good
of
man.
shit.
I have no bones.
But anyways, so, and I'm not trying to bring down the mode. I mean, I like what we do, but I think that part of our growth forces us to evolve,
Yes.
right? And we've evolved over the last couple of years, and we're at a point where if we want to continue to grow like we have been and, you know, be submitted for awards and win additional awards and get some more eyes in the United States on us, and support some of our partners a little better and things of that sort. I'd like to see more involvement in like press junkets for movies and things of that sort. I'd like to sit across the table from directors and actors and things of that
Yeah.
sort and have those conversations. So yeah, I think, and this is to you, the viewer or the listener, that we're gonna sit down during our off season. Which realistically, I don't want to have one. I just kind of want to, let's take a couple weeks off for the holidays, and then when we start season 7, we start. But yeah, we'll put together a structure. We'll have some production meetings and make some decisions from there. We're still gonna have fun. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We're not changing our
Yeah.
personalities. You know, what I said to my friend was, I said, I'm not gonna change who I am, but that doesn't mean that we can't develop some structure around the podcast where people come in and, you know, they know us for our new news, you know, like the New Heights thing.
Make it, and then also fun because you know you can.
Well,
make it-
if we want to grow as a podcast,
Yeah.
we have to adjust to meet the environment. Everyone has a podcast, right? Everyone has a podcast. But we have to do something that allows us to stick out and dominate the market. We've been successful to this point, but we need to get Jeffrey approved for Rotten Tomatoes, which, you know,
Jeffrey
we're
being
working
our
on.
written review writer.
Jeffrey's our web editor. He writes all of our reviews on the website, Popcorn Tribunal. He does a great job. He's very professional about it.
I still need to yell at him in person about his acolyte opinions. But other than that, I
You
think
don't
he's an
have to
upstanding.
yell at people with the wrong. You don't have to yell at people who have the wrong opinion of a differing opinion.
The wrong opinion.
He said it. He said
it. Tony's so used to telling everyone else that their opinion's wrong. It
Well,
just
your
slipped out.
opinions normally are. Your opinions
Streamed.
normally are.
Streamed and recorded.
Can we
Forever.
clip that?
Somebody
actually?
clip that.
Can
yeah.
you send that to Tyler? Because he won't. We're just gonna get that on TikTok.
Okay, we have that. Go ahead and say, I'm right. No, as in, say, Chris, you're right and I'm wrong. And say, Mike, you're right, I'm wrong. I just need those really quick.
He'll kill us before
Look,
he does that.
I spent the money to get our logo redesigned.
Yes.
I built a website. I bought a domain. I'm doing everything that we can to build a professional environment.
I bought a domain for us too. Have you ever used it?
What domain did you buy?
icanhasmoviepodcast.com.
Did you actually buy that?
Yeah.
I did not know that. You should just
I thought
forward
that
it
was
to
just a
popcorntribunal.com.
No, I always buy those.
Okay.
I-
I'm a big
it's,
fan of if I come up with a good domain, I'll buy it too, though. So I
I'm like-
understand.
I've never bought a
I'm
domain
like
in
the
my life.
Alex Jones of stupid.
You know what
domains.
my favorite domain that I own is? Christiannotconservative.com.
You've told me about
You know
that
what
one.
my favorite is that I own?
What?
Borderladders.com.
Is it just pictures of people?
Yeah, I
with
bought
ladders?
that the first time Cheeto got in.
That's funny. That's funny. But anyways, is our content going to change? No. But it will have a structure to it, and I'm excited about that actually. And I've always been the one that's been reticent to structure, so I just kind of wanted to give as we head into the new year, what does next season look like? It's not that funny.
I can't get over there.
You're
You
gonna
gotta
be okay.
You've got to add more to the announcement because Border Ladders is really. Can
Hey,
we get merch for that?
Michael's mom, I have a question for you.
Don't
If your
answer it.
son is scheduled to be at work at 8 a.m.
Okay, shut up. She already knows.
Yeah, but the problem
I already
is,
get talked to about it. Just get over it.
What time should he arrive? Okay. But anyways, sorry,
depends on whether or not
that's
you
the seriousness. I just wanted to give everyone kind of a heads up of where, while Chris has been here from the beginning and Blaha's still, I guess, fairly new to the podcast, it's my podcast, right? And
he'll cry if he wants to.
I've come to the recognition point that we need to make some changes in order to continue to grow. And as with any business or anything, that has to happen. You have to evolve. I mean, we work in technology. We understand how that goes. So as far as I know, the 3 core people will continue to be here. It's
What's gonna happen is that this next season,
what did she say?
She's on my side. She said, I worked for a company for 20 years and was promoted several times, and I was 45 minutes late every single day.
nailed it.
Ask her who she had naked pictures of.
Listen, okay. Look, if we can just divert for a second. Most days, I'm willing to admit, most days, I'm about 10 minutes late.
Nope.
Yeah.
Double that. Double that.
No.
Double that.
10 to 15. I'm willing to say 10 to 15.
Say 20.
I'm willing to say 10.
Just
Can I
say
say
20.
15 to 20?
15 to
15
20.
to 20. Okay. Mostly on the 15 side.
Wait, have you moved at all since you've started working there?
like where I live?
Like, have you moved your place of
No.
residence?
No, I haven't.
hmm
But also,
And how long have you been working there?
a year and a half.
Yeah.
Also,
So in a year
though-
and a half, you have driven the same distance
Sure.
to work every
Sure.
day.
Yeah.
And you are consistently 15 to 20 minutes late.
Okay, but also here's the thing to consider. And this is not by your mandate, this is by my own choice. I very rarely take a lunch. I'll eat food, but I like to work through my lunch
Well,
anyway.
to be fair, when
Leg-
you're broke,
legally,
that's
I
the
have-
only reason
Okay,
you don't
hold
take a
on.
lunch.
Legally, I take a lunch. But most days, I just work at my desk and I don't use the bathroom that often. But not because I'm not allowed to, but because I just don't have to. So, I like to think I make up for it in other ways. And
I'm with Mike here.
I like to think I make up for it in, I don't make
I
it-
don't need you to be
Nah,
Mike
Because
here.
when I worked at a certain, I won't name the place, but we'll discuss that later. Worked at a place. My boss would take a cigarette break at least twice an hour for like 10 to 15 minutes each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't take a lot of breaks during the day, but I do happen to be a little late most mornings.
So let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Nobody is telling you not to take those
Yeah, no,
breaks.
it's true. I just do. I make
Nobody
up the time.
is telling you not
Yeah,
to take
I
those
do it
lunches.
voluntarily because I know that I've been late.
But, like, I mean, your boss, whoever he may be, I'm sure he's amazing, could be like, well, since you're 15 to 20 minutes late every day,
Yes.
I need you to stay 15 to 20 minutes later every day to make up that time.
Well, that's why I take it out of the lunch.
But according to employment laws, lunch and breaks
Mhm.
don't matter. If you work a specific number of days or hours, you're guaranteed 1 hour long lunch.
Sure.
Right? Actually, technically, it's a half an hour
Okay.
because you're under 8 hours.
Well, yeah.
technically. So you're guaranteed a half hour, but you're given an hour. Right?
Sure.
And I don't have to give you smoke breaks.
I don't take smoke breaks anyway.
Right.
Well, would it make you feel better if I told you
Maybe
I
you
stayed till
should start
5:15 every
smoking.
day?
You don't stay till 5:15.
I
every
definitely
day.
don't, but would it make you
Because
feel
at
better if I told
4:50,
you?
you guys are like, cool, we out. And I'm like, there's still 10 minutes in the day.
I did not leave at 4:50 today.
Mm-hmm.
I won't deny that has happened before.
Yeah, but you were 40 minutes late this morning.
Yeah, that's why I didn't leave at 4:50. That's why I left
Okay.
at 5 o'clock.
That's all. Okay. But anyways, like I said, the core group is gonna stay together. I don't see him going anywhere, unless I fire him for being late every day, and then he quits the podcast because he's mad at me.
No,
I
I would
probably
stay on the
won't do
podcast.
that.
I just won't tell anyone you fired me. I'll say it was layoffs. Tony fought it. He couldn't do anything about it.
Molly, if you're watching, it wasn't layoffs.
He tried his hardest. I actually saw him on his knees begging in the parking lot.
I have fought
Mike, I
for
got
your employment many times.
If he fires you, we're going to start our own podcast, just you and I. We're going to call it Double Feature. It's just you and I.
Ooh,
We'll do our own thing. See? I already
You know,
have a name.
Actually, you know what?
I came up with the name for this podcast.
Double
I own
Fister?
it.
We
Double
started.
Fister?
You know
Yeah.
what? Let's make it. We make it even more egregious. We started a podcast. We call it Film School Dropouts because he never trademarked it.
So here's the deal with trademarks. First of all, if you've created a brand and put it out there, you technically own the trademark from the date of creation. So if you were to start a podcast called Film School Dropouts, all I have to do is register the trademark and I can then sue you because I have a creation.
What if
date.
we call it Film School Dropout?
Let's call it Film School
are you looking
Extra
here?
Oh, no.
Credit something.
We purposefully misspell it and take the hyphen out, Chris. I think we got it.
You need to buck up on your trademark laws, buddy.
We call it Movie School Dummies.
You guys are idiots. Well, speaking of partnerships and moving forward, let's talk a little bit about our partners real quick, and then let's talk about some movies and some video games and all that kind of shit, because that's what we're here to do. Blaha, why don't you tell us a little bit about your favorite partner that we work with?
Is it Glitch Energy?
Oh, I was thinking like Coffee Dude's Coffee. or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Who's
No,
that?
it's Coffee Dude's Coffee.
Oh man, you
They're
might
my
lose a
favorite.
sponsor if
They-
you keep up these.
If I let
these
Blaha talk
threads.
about your business, you want me to talk about
Did
it?
you notice, by the way, the other day when Wendy was on, when you guys were doing the Coffee Dudes bit, I was in the chat just going,
Oh, I
it's
noticed.
definitely not a front for a cocaine farm.
I mean,
Sweet baby.
Listen,
Jesus.
Coffee Dudes Coffee is the #1 locally owned,
Laced
locally
coffee brand.
roasted, non-drug operation in the nondescript area we live in that I can't tell you about. And it's owned. You see this beautiful guy here? Put the camera on yourself for a second, Chris.
oh, okay.
Let me know when it's on your face. Do you see that beautiful man? He owns it. He runs it. He roasts the coffee, and he doesn't make drugs that he uses the coffee to hide the scent of from
Jesus Christ.
detector dogs.
And we wonder why I can't get partners.
I actually, if you buy whole bean coffee, I hollow out each bean and fill them with cocaine.
Oh my God. Well, that's why you stay awake when you drink it, right, folks? But again, there's definitely not drugs in there. That's just a joke, a complete joke. No one
caffeine,
would ever do that.
extra caffeine.
Yeah, all right. The
Jesus
caffeine
Christ.
caught up with him for a second. Chris, do we have a coupon code? I don't know. You run the business.
Do my logo up just for the fun of it.
There it is.
There it is.
I'm getting ready to. I might have one next week. Now this is gonna sound crazy.
What?
I have.
Do we finish each other's sandwiches? You know what's crazy?
I've delayed
we finish
putting
each
out a
other's?
discount so people don't buy coffee as gifts too early.
Yes,
Ooh.
because then it will be fresher.
Chris, you
closer
know
to
what
the
you do?
holidays.
Next week, your Christmas code, War on Christmas.
Just use United Healthcare as your code.
Use code United Healthcare for a nice shot of caffeine
Use code
for your morning.
Use code CEO.
Do you think Ozzy Osbourne would let me use the song "Shot in the Dark" for this ad?
What about whoever does Shot Through the Heart? Who is that? Is that Bon Jovi?
You're to blame.
Is that's Bon
you
Jovi,
give
right?
love.
No,
White
no, that is not.
It's Whitesnake.
No, it's
Oh.
not.
It's
Who is it?
Whitesnake.
Oh, it is not David Coverdale by any means
I don't
singing
fucking
that
know.
song.
Then who the fuck is it, Chris?
You really don't know that it's Bon Jovi?
I said it was Bon Jovi.
Oh, he said it was something else. I thought you were home.
I said I still think it's White.
Whitesnake is David Coverdale. You're thinking of "Is This Love?" Yeah, you're thinking of that.
Is this love?
Should've known better. The guy who's been trying to be Robert Plant since the day he was born.
Anyways, if you visit coffeedudescoffee.com,
I'm not opinionated about that.
you will support producer Chris. I'm not asking you to support the podcast. I'm asking you to support producer Chris.
Yeah, we get none of that
Um,
money.
Everyone can
and I
be
don't
just
care
like
that we
my
get none
wife
of
for
that
the
money.
holidays and support me.
Support these nuts. Hey, at least you said it. I can't make those jokes anymore.
That's right.
So
How about you tell us about your favorite or one of your favorite
no,
partners?
absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about what we're looking at right here in front of us.
Oh,
Our friends and our partners over at glitchenergy.com. Glitch Energy, some of the best powdered energy that I've ever had. I actually went through the Dubbies. I went through the G Fuels. I checked everything out. I did not like them. This is the best mixing powdered energy drink. Some of the best flavors. The variety of flavors are crazy. The biggest thing that I love about them is the support that they provide their creators. I will be releasing a video on my socials for my individual flavor. Called Palm Blast. Pomegranate citrus punch. Oh my God. So delicious. The sweetness of pomegranate with that zingy citrus. Oh, so good. So good. So good. I'm so excited about that. So if you check us out at glitchenergy.com and use code popcorn at checkout, you'll save 20% off all of these flavors. There's a lot of flavors on sale right now, which is great. Also, for the holidays, they have brought back Grinchberry, which is my favorite. It's a cranberry punch. We're both
What
drinking
we're
it
drinking
tonight.
right now.
Oh, you didn't offer any to me.
Bitch, I offered you all
You
three.
were right here while I was
And you
mixing
very
it.
specifically said I shouldn't have any glitch tonight. I did way too much cocaine while roasting that coffee earlier.
No, the
Wait.
cocaine is only in Chris's system, not in the. We can't
yes.
let this carry over to a different ad.
That's true.
We can't let it break containment.
Yeah,
That's
let's
true.
talk about the white bull while we're advertising our glitch.
Yeah, let's do that. No, let's not do that.
Let's talk about chasing the dragon while you're trying worm tonic.
Glitch does a great job of taking care of us, and we love everything about them. There's so many different flavors. We're excited to potentially have our own Popcorn Tribunal flavor down the road. So once
And-
again, glitchenergy.com, code popcorn, save 20% off your entire purchase. Don't say anything else. I don't trust you.
I was gonna say if you have ideas for what would be a good popcorn tribunal flavor, feel free to tell them
Okay.
to us on our
sure.
Twitter or text us personally.
You can say that.
Yeah.
Cool thing, there's 2 flavors that they have out right now that you can actually mix with milk. Yes. So they have a flavor called Loopy Fruits, and it tastes like Fruit Loop milk, like
Yeah, I
after
would-
you eat the cereal.
I would do peanut butter.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then there's another one, I don't remember what the flavor was.
Do you know? It's weird that you bring that up because I just over the last weekend found out from a friend of mine that there's also like some kind of vodka that tastes like Fruit Loops.
Yes. I've
And
had
he
it many,
mixes
many
it with
times.
milk?
It's delicious.
And he's been like trying to convert.
It's like a
people
White
to it.
Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that you said that, and that's like my first awareness
Yeah.
of that.
The other thing, sorry, Chris, go ahead.
You ever put Bailey's on cereal?
No.
You ever
okay,
drink
the other
Bailey's
thing-
out of a shoe?
The other thing
Yeah.
is
The
the company that makes Glitch Energy is a fitness company.
Yes.
Right? And as a part of the fitness company, they are now developing Glitch Energy protein powders.
Oh shit!
So yeah, I actually have submitted a flavor for the protein powder. It'd be peaches and cream, which I'm super excited about. And then keep an eye on their socials at Glitch Energy everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be announcing some additional new products, some stuff we've talked about behind the scenes.
That's true.
But we're really excited about that.
And even if you don't care about product announcements, they do giveaways like every friggin' day.
Every month, if you purchase anything, you're immediately entered into a giveaway
yeah.
that they do on a monthly basis.
I mean, they do that one, but I'm talking about they'll just go on Twitter and be like, "Hey, you tell me
Hey,
your favorite
use
game,
this
and I'll
code
send you a
save
tub."
50% off.
Like
or-
they're doing that shit
yeah.
constantly.
The biggest thing is whenever you deal with them, tell them that you're supporting Popcorn Tribunal by using that code popcorn. We appreciate the support.
Yes.
So one of the greatest things about Glitch is there's a family of products, and they have also developed a product and a brand called Space Panda Delta. Space Panda Delta are hemp-derived Delta 8 and 9 products. They are some of the best tasting Delta 8 and 9 products on the market. I've had multiples, and I gotta be honest with you, this just tastes like a regular gummy to me. No aftertaste. Nice and sweet, nice and flavorful.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the Delta 8s when I need a good. If it's 2:30 in the morning and I can't sleep, I'll pop one. I love them.
Oh yeah. I was as you know, a couple of weeks ago, hurt my back a little bit, and I had medicine I was taking. I was like, man, it's just I'm not really helping. I'm not still having trouble sleeping. Maybe I'll try a Space Panda to see if it chill out. And man, if I didn't wake up the next morning with no idea what happened to me and feeling way better.
You were bleeding from your butt, but you don't know. You know.
Yeah. I also in that time period, stubbed the shit out of my toe and didn't remember it. So
but
thank you,
again,
Space Panda, for saving me twice.
Space Panda Delta, if you visit spacepandadelta.com, they too will be releasing a lot of new products next year. We're really excited about that. But if you use code Popcorn, you'll save an additional 20% off of their product offerings there too. My favorite right now are the Moon Lollipops, because you can manage the amount of hemp-derived Delta 8 or 9 that you get. So we love those. They do also have a CBD pain relief gummy. Chris takes too much drugs, so it didn't really work for him.
What, man?
All the cocaine kind of, which again, the cocaine does not go into the coffee.
And just so you guys know, this is proof that we can't use any of these promos to send to our brands. So these are products that we actually use.
We can. Some creative editing.
Well, one of the coolest things that I've always said about this project that we call Popcorn Tribunal, and Chris can vouch for this from the beginning, is I've always said I won't represent a product that I wouldn't drink or I wouldn't eat or I wouldn't use in my daily life. And other than the coffee, which I don't really drink coffee that much.
Yeah, fuck you, Chris.
Everything that we partner with, we use. We're using an OBS Bot Tiny 2 Lite camera. We're currently drinking Glitch Energy. I take the Space Panda Delta gummies. I have to drive home, so I'm not going to take one tonight. But that's important. And if you happen to be in our stream or listening to the podcast and you're looking to partner with us, just know that we're going to ask for some of the product before we agree to partner with you.
Yeah.
Because it's important to us that we believe in what we're talking to you guys about. So.
Hell yeah.
Except for Blaha, he'll do anything for $20.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll be straight up. If you are sending me like a fun toy,
kind of like what? Like a lightsaber?
Like a lightsaber, a Lego set, a fucking Gundam model. Anything right now, I'm obsessed with Dragon Age. We'll talk about that in a little bit. If BioWare, if you want to send me some
ladies and gentlemen,
Dragon Age
that is a beard. He is a grown ass man.
Yes, BioWare, if you're listening and you're like, hey, I want some good press on Dragon Age, I'll do it for anything.
Wait, let's back up. Chris, can you mark this point right now?
No,
just mark it.
Okay.
And then he's going to pitch BioWare right now.
Okay.
Ready?
I mean, I'll just search for it.
Yes.
And mark.
Well, I'm not allowed to do that, but anyways, BioWare, I'm going to give a review in a little bit here, but spoiler alert, heads up for everyone. I really loved your game. I've loved every game you've made.
Every game?
I can't think of a BioWare game that I don't love. So if you're sitting here thinking to yourself, man, we could probably get some mileage out of this guy. Let's send him a shirt. Let's send him a hoodie. I got the email earlier for the Rook hoodie that you guys just dropped. I don't even know if purple's my color, and I'm going to buy it and wear it.
It's not your color.
I'm going to buy it and wear it anyways. So listen, BioWare, hear me out. Listen, I got my Grey Warden necklace on right now. If you want me to go out here and go counter troll on some of these weird anti-woke people who were talking about your game, I'll do it for free. But if you want to throw me some swag for it, I'll do it even harder.
Whoa.
And cut. There you go. That's my pitch.
Yeah, let's make sure we clip that out because that's going up on TikTok later.
Woohoo!
I wish you would have said something like, I will go harder and deeper for you.
I'll go as deep as the deep roads in your game, Dragon Age, where the Grey Wardens go to fight the Darkspawn and stop the Blight when they hear the calling. Anyway.
It amazes me that you are a married man.
Mm-hmm. My partner also loves Dragon Age and would deeply approve of this message. So, BioWare, you're great. And again,
I just need to see you wearing cargo shorts, and I'll be happy.
I used to do that a lot. Dude,
I bet you did.
In middle school, probably elementary, middle school,
the cargo short
the only thing you would see me in was cargo shorts and a fleece vest.
Jesus.
I had a couple of Old Navy fleece vests, and man, did I think I was the fucking coolest.
Yeah.
In those vests.
You were 25 when you lost your virginity, is that right?
I was 25 when I graduated 8th grade.
Okay,
so.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, so that was your BioWare commercial. Not a sponsor. Hashtag not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but I'm going to talk about Veil Garden a little bit here.
The other thing, by the way, if anyone out there knows a lightsaber company, this man lives his life for Star Wars, and he has
Oh, yeah.
been. We had a Star Wars partner that made lightsabers,
Yeah.
and they shuttered their doors.
Yeah, and I don't believe they were real to begin
And
with.
this man never got a lightsaber from
That's
them,
true.
and he was very disappointed. So, lightsaber companies, I'll tell you what, I will give you presenting sponsor for our 7th season starting in 2025 if you provide the crew with 3 lightsabers.
Every episode, we'll
And they can't
start
be
it up
those
with
shitty retractable ones. I want noise. I want lights.
Yeah, watch if some dude was just like, "Hey, sponsor my company," then
Goes
send
to
us-
Target and
Yeah.
buys 3
No,
retractable
I want
ones.
mine to be a human voice going, wow.
I would love
Wow.
that, dude. Yeah.
They actually do make
Wow.
ones where they have
You
like the
can program
recordable
them. Yeah,
soundboard.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They like, oh yeah. You
So
can
yeah,
plug
if
in-
anyone out there knows anyone, if we can find a lightsaber manufacturer that provides us with
Yes.
3 lightsabers, what color?
I would do probably yellow,
What
but
color, Chris?
Chartreuse.
What did I say?
orange.
Orange?
Yeah,
Yes.
I will. Let me head it off at the pass though, just in case anyone
Well, if
comes
you're
in.
doing yellow, I gotta change though. I'll
We'll
go
think
with
about it.
blue because
Yellow and blue look good together.
well, plus yellow and orange can look
Yeah.
the same.
If I want to just head this off at the pass here, at the risk of crucifying myself with some
No,
parts of the Star
don't
Wars
do this.
community-
Don't do this.
What?
Do
You know what I'm
not
gonna
do not submit to the woke mob
I'm not
and
submitting to any woke mob.
decline specific manufacturers.
I will decline only one
Don't-
specific manufacturer.
Don't.
You have to let me say it.
No, I
have to let
don't
me say
have to do shit.
We agreed that we wouldn't go with
I
this
don't.
one.
Chris, do you have the beep button? Do you have a dump button?
Nah, I broke it.
Okay, I won't say the name.
Do not limit us.
I'm not. I won't
Do not
say the
limit
name.
us. Understand that we have had the conversation, and what happens behind the scenes happens behind the scenes. But don't fucking say it out loud, Tyler, who hates Walt Disney.
I love Disney though.
Jesus Christ.
Disney, if you want to sponsor us, the Legacy lightsaber
6
line,
seasons, you'd think we'd
fantastic.
learn.
fantastic.
Tesla, if you want to sponsor us, get
Yeah,
fucked.
get fucked.
I won't say the name. I'm just saying there is only one brand I'll turn down, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, but you're not turning them down.
I will refuse to do the.
I
bad
I
route.
gave you carte blanche to create proposals, and
I'm just saying.
you ain't done shit.
We don't want to give money to bigots, or sexist, or misogynist,
Yes.
or homophobes,
Which is why we broadcast on YouTube.
and
And Kick.
Oh, God.
and Twitch.
Hey,
Let's be fucking
Kick has
real.
been cleaning up their
Let's be
act,
fucking
so,
real. And Twitch.
Yeah.
No, with fewer pedophiles.
Kick. Now, hey, Rumble signed Doc Disrespect. Did you see that shit?
Ugh.
I'm gonna be honest. If you ever tell me we're switching to Rumble, I'm leaving.
No, God,
That's
no.
it. I'm done. I'm out of the
Nope.
podcast.
Nope.
I will limit that one.
Not happening.
You're like, hey, Rumble's gonna be our new primary. I'm like, well, it's been. I
I don't even care that it's a conservative right-wing platform. What I care about is the fact that Dr. Disrespect got paid $20 million by this company and runs their gaming division.
Yep. And you know why he got
What the
paid that?
fuck?
Because he got called out for being a fucking pedophile. And they were like,
Dr.
hey,
Disrespect is a pediatrician.
yeah. Dr. Disrespect, more like Dr. Kid Inspect. Anyway.
What a piece of shit. Okay. Hey, speaking of kid inspections,
Oh, no.
God, no.
No, no. No.
do you remember the kid from Gladiator 1?
Vaguely.
The-
Yeah.
Connie Nielsen's son.
Yeah.
Turns out he was Russell Crowe's son as well,
Yes.
right? Let's talk about Gladiator 2.
Yeah, okay.
Because that little boy,
Really quick, you said Connie Nielsen.
yes,
You know what my mother's first name is?
Connie.
You know what my last name is?
No.
Yes.
There you go. That was weird to hear that.
It's not
Threw me a little bit.
Nielsen, though.
It's not Nielsen.
Just so we're not doxing.
No, but my sister's name is Leslie. I know.
What the fuck, man?
You should,
No.
if her middle name was Shirley, it would have been even better.
I know.
Okay. Anyways, so Paul Mescal
Yes.
is the lead in
Y-
Gladiator
yes.
2, directed by Ridley Scott. Spoiler alert: he is that little boy from the first movie,
Yes.
all grown up. You had a problem with Paul Mescal, and then I saw this movie, and I said, "This man is so fucking charismatic." Oh my god! Like, what?
Yeah.
And
No.
then like if you look at him in profile, he looks like those Roman busts, which is crazy. if there was ever, and we'll talk about this another show, if there was ever a perfect casting, for
Mhm.
me, that was a perfect casting.
Okay.
The only thing that I hated about this movie, I loved everything about this movie. The
Mhm.
only thing I hated about this movie is Denzel Washington played Denzel Washington.
Everyone's so mad about that. That
Hated it.
everyone's doing these accents, and then Denzel just rolls out and is like,
Yeah,
"Fuck
Brooklyn didn't exist during the Iron Age.
you." Listen, Paul Mescal became the victim of a very necessary part of my life, which is
Was it because of Gracie Abrams?
no. Okay, it's even worse. I'm a generally pretty positive person. I
Lies.
don't put out a ton of negativity, but the
Lies.
negativity needs to go somewhere. And so every now and then I need to just arbitrarily hate someone.
Lies.
Most recently, before Paul Mescal, it was Austin Butler. And then we saw Dune Part 2, and I was like, Austin Butler is pretty cool in that. So it's not him anymore. Who's it going to be? It was Paul Mescal. The specific stupid reason was that because when Joe Alwyn was all like, trying to pretend he was the victim of some kind of Taylor Swift mob, he was like, I have this group text called the Tortured Men's Club, and me and Paul Mescal and other people all talk about what tortured white men artists we are. And it was so stupid.
That's not.
And
what the fuck
listen,
happened.
Paul Mescal was probably barely involved in it, but I need to arbitrarily hate someone to exist. And I no longer hate
But
Paul
why
Mescal.
did you choose Paul Mescal instead of fucking Joe Alwyn?
Well, because I hate him anyway. The thing is, I need to have someone I arbitrarily hate.
Right, but you don't
that's
hate Pedro
funny.
Pascal, and he
No.
was in it.
Oh, I love Pedro. He wasn't in the
Yeah, he
Tortured Men's
was.
Club text. No,
Yes, he was.
no, he will prove it. Pull it up right now. Anyways, I need to have a person I arbitrarily hate because I think it's funny.
Barry Keoghan or whatever.
Actually, he might be the one because did
Yeah.
you hear? He cheated on Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay, first of all, you've got to stop believing everything that you read on the internet.
I only heard about that 5 minutes before I got
There
to
is
you
no
today.
fucking way that Brekkie Hill has escalated her capacity to pick men from Jinxie to Barry Keoghan.
Listen,
Okay?
I only heard about that right before I got to the car with you today. So I only just know that it's something that's floating around out there.
Hey, I'm gonna bang the most popular streamer. Oh my god, I'm gonna go for an Oscar-winning actor. That's a jump, dude.
Sure. Like, listen, here's the thing. I need currently Paul Mescal, you're off the block. I thought you were great in Gladiator 2. I don't hate you anymore. I need to find
He's
some
charismatic.
He
as
is
fuck,
very
though,
charismatic.
dude.
I need to find someone new to arbitrarily hate because they came like Joe Alwyn. Of course I hate
He's
him.
also
He
dating
sucks.
Gracie Abrams.
Yeah,
who is,
I
like,
love Gracie
the
Abrams.
easiest person to love.
I love Gracie Abrams. I can't just be like, I hate Joe Alwyn. That's obvious. I can be like, I hate the Paul brothers. Who fucking doesn't? I can't. I hate Elon Musk. We all should. I need someone who's perfectly likable to arbitrarily have a problem with. I need beef with someone who doesn't deserve it.
So you want your Tom Cruise, basically.
I like to cycle through though a little
Right,
bit, you know.
but right. So Tyler hated Tom Cruise.
Yeah, sure.
Continues to hate Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
That's also kind of deserved though.
You
He's
want
a
your Tom Cruise.
Scientologist freak, but I just need if you guys have
I
suggestions.
still have love for you, Tom.
If anyone has suggestions on who should be my new one-sided beef where they don't deserve it, hit me up. Let me know. I'm willing to hate anybody.
Beef aside, Gladiator 2 was amazing.
Gladiator 2 was good.
We obviously I saw it in the theater. It was big. It was on a massive scale.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the way to see it. The audio was amazing. The story, it was so well written. It worked out perfectly. Denzel is my only complaint, and he's never my only complaint.
Yeah.
That's like complaining about Morgan Freeman playing God.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was a great movie.
My thing is,
loved
I think I was just too young when I saw the first Gladiator, and I didn't really care that much
Fuck
about it.
off.
Like, I remember, like, I watched
Chris,
it and was
can you
like,
turn off his microphone? I don't
It's
want
off.
to hear that
It's
shit
off.
I
anymore.
watched Gladiator and I was like, this is cool, but I was like a little kid. I didn't really like give that
Then
much
you need
of
to
a
watch
shit.
it again.
I'm
That is an
definitely going to.
amazing movie.
Little
Because
kid.
I
What year
thought-
did it come out? Like 2015?
When we talk about
Gladiator?
when we talk
Joking,
about
I'm joking.
perfect movies, I think Denzel Washington aside, both Gladiator 1 and Gladiator 2 are as close to perfect movies. And I don't like Ridley Scott. I am not one of those Ridley Scott stans, right?
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh my God, I have to see everything that he does.
Yeah.
I think that both of the Gladiator movies, from the soundtrack to the sound design to the direction,
Mhm.
to the look and feel of it. Those are as close to a perfect movie as you can get
Yeah.
without actually being a perfect movie.
Yeah.
There are flaws.
Sure.
There
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
major flaws, but they are a movie that if I am flipping through channels and I see that one of them is on, I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah. I think for me probably some of the story stuff was a little lost again because I don't really remember Gladiator
Yeah.
that well. So some of the story
Dude, the
beats
twins, the twin emperors,
Yeah.
I loved that. Those syphilitic craziness of the one of it was perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I knew what was wrong with the guy from the jump.
Oh yeah.
And to hear some of the like Gen Zers sitting next to me go, "What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him?" And then finally, when they catch on that it's syphilis that caused him to go crazy,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
spot
no,
on. It was
I-
so good.
I definitely felt like oh go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I was a kid when this came out too. When Gladiator came out,
When did it come out?
I was 3 months shy of my 18th birthday.
What year did it come out?
2000.
2000. Oh, I was 8.
Uh,
You were almost 18,
Shut.
Chris.
Remember
Just
how
shy
I
of
said that
18.
the core
Yeah.
group is gonna stay together?
That's crazy. You were almost 18. That's so nuts because I was 10 years younger than you.
Which means, guess what? You're probably still 10 years
Yeah,
younger
yeah,
than him.
But so I definitely was missing out on some of the story elements. I could still tell, like, okay, this is supposed to be a pretty
I was
emotional
24,
beat.
by the way.
God, just talk over everybody. God.
Like I could tell, this is supposed to be an emotional beat. It's still a well-written story, so you get that impact even without having really had the experience. But visually, holy shit, what a cool movie! And sound design was great. I thought, I can't really think of like a complaint I had with it other than the fact that some of it was a little bit lost on me because of my inexperience with the first movie. But I thought it was really fun. I would look forward to watching it again and watching Gladiator 1 first.
Yeah, I
You know what I
definitely
mean?
encourage you to watch it again.
Yeah. I do love there was a lot of people who were complaining, some very public, we'll say right-wing personas who were like, they demasculated the movie because the Romans were bisexual. I don't
That's
know if you guys
historically
know,
accurate.
but
Yeah, no, that's
Rome
absolutely
kinda-
historically accurate.
Rome kind of invented it.
No, that's brand
Well,
new.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The
no.
Romans fucked
My
everyone.
favorite was that there's no way there were sharks in the fucking Colosseum. For the record, I don't doubt that some shit like that probably happened.
I would also just like to say though, for the record, if it looks cool, I don't care.
Yeah, it's also a movie.
Yeah.
Just like the half black girl can play in How to Train Your Dragon. She doesn't have to be a
Oh my
blonde.
god, everyone's so
Oh.
everyone's such I love, like, if I can have a tangent for half a second here.
No. you
The
can't.
people who love to
Save
call
it. Save it.
okay,
Save it.
okay,
Save it.
okay,
It makes me want to get
Gladiator
stabby
2,
at times.
Gladiator 2, I think it's a must watch.
yes,
I think it's, if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to see it in theaters while it's still there. If not, watch it on the biggest TV that you can
Yes.
with the best audio. It's an amazing movie. Go see it. Paul Mescal, fantastic. Is it Oscar worthy? It'll probably get nominated for Best Picture, maybe Best Director. I'm fine with that. I don't know about the acting. They may give Denzel one just because it's Denzel. I don't know that he would win it.
yeah,
But it'll definitely get a Best Picture nomination, maybe Best Sound Design, some of the technical Oscars.
for sure.
But yeah, go see it. It's really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just a film school dropout, right?
Hey,
Hey. Well, if
it
you
was
know, you
great
know.
though.
Boom.
Okay, now tangent. Go on your tangent.
I just think, based off what we were just talking about, people who were getting mad about the representation of bisexuality in Gladiator 2, the people who love to say, "Oh, these snowflakes are so offended," sure get really fucking offended every goddamn time something like that shows up in a movie. It's gonna come up in a little bit here when I talk about Dragon Age, because there's a lot of people who were being anti-woke about that game too for very specific reasons. Just shut the fuck up. Who like, fuck you. Who cares? It's 2024.
Okay, devil's advocate here, right?
Okay.
The fact that people are expressing their opinions about something may not necessarily mean that they have to shut the fuck up. But one of the biggest things that I believe is if you're willing to express your opinion, then you need to be able to listen to someone else's opinion.
Sure.
And what pisses me off is the people who are unwilling to listen to someone else's opinion,
Sure.
or people who think that their opinion becomes fact because they believe it.
Sure.
That's what bugs me.
Well, I mean, that does bug me too. I will say, while I agree with you in most cases, like, like I always joke, me and Jeffrey are going to yell at each other about the Acolyte. He has valid criticism of the Acolyte, so I'm not
The
actually
Acolyte
mad
was
at him
shit,
about it.
bro.
Shut the fuck up. But my problem is when your criticism is just thinly veiled.
By the way, did you hear that Manny kind of let it slip?
Up.
Did you hear that Manny kind of let it slip?
Yes, I did hear.
Yeah.
Now shut up.
Okay, go ahead.
My problem is when your criticism is actually just thinly veiled bigotry.
By the way, you know that I interrupt you because
Yeah.
I'm old and I will forget
No,
shit
I
if
know,
I
I
don't
know, it's
straight
fine.
up say it.
It's
Okay.
just funny to give you shit about it.
I know.
So like when someone looks at me and says, "Well, there was a lot of gay stuff in Gladiator 2," that's not a criticism.
There was a lot of gay stuff in Rome. Get over it.
That's not a criticism.
Yeah.
That's you being a fucking bigot.
No,
and at that point,
it's-
I don't care about your opinion on it anymore. I
Yeah.
just kind of hope that a gay person comes up and hits you with a gladiator sword.
I just can't imagine watching a movie and focusing on that.
Dude, there
Like,
is so
what
much.
is
And that's one
the
of the
point?
things that I hate when we talk about film criticism, right?
Yes.
And no, this is not talking about any organizations or anyone in particular.
Yes.
But I think that we've reached a point where people have failed to go to see movies to see a fucking movie.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I pride myself in and that I'm proud of you in is that we
Aw.
have maintained our ability to go see a movie because we want to see that movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to a screening and I don't like that, I will look at it from a criticism standpoint and I will identify what were the issues with the movie, what would I have done to make it better. That's film criticism. If I go to a movie because I want to see the second Gladiator movie, I'm not going to break it down and be like, well, this is what they could have done better. Denzel was Denzel.
Mhm.
Great. But that's the one thing that drives me crazy about criticism as a whole and why I like what Rotten Tomatoes does better than things like Collider. We'll use them as an example because Rotten Tomatoes gives you two options, right?
Mhm.
You get to read the criticism of the film critics, which is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But then you also get to read from normal people who go fucking see the movie,
Yeah.
right? You get to get those reviews there too. That's why I think people come to us because we're going to talk about those movies in layman's terms.
Yeah.
And we're going to lay out there what was stupid about it and what wasn't stupid about it. And there may be stupid shit about a movie, but we still loved it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's kind of what I like about like how big like Letterboxd has gotten recently. Because
Yeah.
it's always fun to look at a movie and you'll see someone who gave it like 4 stars and then they're just like, this was really fucking dumb. But they liked.
The best is when they're the only 4-star rating
Yeah.
out of 150 ratings.
Yeah.
Everyone else gave it a 1 star. Why did you like this movie? And that sounded like I just said Jew. I apologize.
It actually
Why did you like this movie and no one else did? Because there's a ton of movies that I love that other people would hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite is when someone will go watch Blazing Saddles and say, "Oh, you couldn't make that today because the woke mob." It's like, but you're the
And
one.
what's funny is all
who
three of
hates-
us are as liberal as it
Yeah.
comes, but we could sit down and watch Blazing Saddles and still be like,
Well,
that was a
the
funny
topics
movie when it was
covered
made."
in the movie are what people are like. That's woke.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
It's like Tropic Thunder.
it's
Like,
like,
people
no.
are like, "Oh, cancel RDJ." That was the point of the
Yeah.
character in the movie.
Yeah. It very specifically making fun of someone who would go that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So, but yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, I am okay with being a little more respectful of opinions if they're willing to have discussions about opinions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm perfectly happy to be respectful of opinions. Again, if it's an actual opinion. If you're just trying to be a bigot and disguising
Yeah.
it as an opinion, then I'm
And
going
it's
to
not
tell you
even
to shut
about
the fuck
bigotry
down.
though. Like, there was one person who I enjoy as a human being, who I've sat next to them in movies. We've enjoyed some of the same movies, but we went to see the Batman. And the first words out of their mouth was, "Well, this didn't feel like a comic book movie." Like,
That was the most comic book accurate Batman I've ever seen.
and that's, well, it was more of a graphic novel correct Batman than a comic
okay,
book,
that's fair.
right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was just like, I just wanted to look at him and say, did you enjoy the movie? Or did you come in here and sit in here with the intent to not like something
Yeah.
because it's not what you expected,
Yeah.
right? So when you go into a movie with an expectation, and as a critic, you're not supposed to do that, right?
Mhm.
That's the one thing that I hate about film criticism to a point, is the expectation that people go into when they're doing film criticism, cut that out. Stop. Don't go in because Ridley Scott made the first Gladiator and it was amazing. Don't expect the second one to be subpar because you can't replicate amazing.
Yeah,
right?
which I've known a lot of people who were saying that going into 2.
That's the problem. Expectations to me taint criticism.
Yeah.
And I hate that. So my intent behind film criticism and what we call film journalism is I go to enjoy the movie.
Mhm.
And if there's things about it that I can critique or things that I would recommend, right? Don't complain about something unless you have a potential solution or a
Sure.
recommendation. That's what I love about our discussions is we can have those conversations.
Yeah.
What would you have done better? But yeah, the woke side of things, that's not even criticism. That's just
Yeah.
people bitching to bitch.
And especially when you counter one of those people and go, "Tell me what woke means to you."
Yeah,
They
exactly.
got
Yeah.
nothing. They got because they can't look at you and say, "I don't like that there's gay people in this movie."
Yeah.
They have nothing.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of the woke mob,
Speaking of gay people, let's talk
yeah,
about Wicked.
I was gonna say we got Wicked and we got Moana. We
Yeah.
can go either way if we want to talk about woke right now.
Oh, well, let's talk about Wicked because I didn't see Moana 2 yet. But if Cynthia Erivo does not win Best Actress, I will be shocked. If she doesn't
Sure,
end
yeah.
up with her EGOT after this award season, I'll be shocked. The reason behind it is because you have a woman who, and yeah, speaking of woke, who has lived the life of a marginalized black woman who's
Yeah.
queer
hmm
and has gained what I would consider a modicum of success. I mean,
Mhm.
she has an Emmy, she has a Grammy, she has a Tony. You know, she has all of these awards. And then you put a fucking corset and you strap her into a flying harness and you ask her to sing live. No, clarification. She insists
Yeah.
that she sings live. Every one of her stunts in that movie. And she fucking nails it.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable. The emotion, the raw emotion that you just saw her embody in that role. The scene where they're in the Ozish and Ariana Grande told her she didn't want to know the choreographed dance
Yeah.
so that it would look as awkward as it was.
Yeah.
And just the tears on her face when she picked up the dance and things of that sort. It's just like that was real shit. Yeah, I have never seen the musical.
Same.
I've enjoyed the music my entire life. But I didn't see Ariana Grande as Ariana Grande.
Mhm.
God, I'm in love with Jonathan Bailey.
Dude, I was gonna speaking.
Bro,
of,
I put it out there. My
yeah.
man crush has transitioned from David Beckham to Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah, like
when we talk about charismatic human beings, that man is.
Yeah, like speaking of everything Cynthia Erivo went through for that movie, he was also doing all of his singing
Yeah.
and choreography and
The
stunts
dancing
in
that
as
you
well.
see, it's all
Yeah,
him. Yeah.
like he was in like the little rotating
Yep.
library doing
He
all
did
this shit.
parkour training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. I mean, what a man. I also love him in Bridgerton. I do love Bridgerton. So
I also have fallen in love with but not only to me was the casting perfect. I didn't even put together the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow. I did not even put those three characters
yeah,
together
I actually didn't.
until I saw a TikTok where they're pointing it out, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, my partner had to explain that to me.
Yeah.
The only one I picked up on was the lion. When they take the lion up, I was like, "Oh, that's got to be the cowardly lion."
No.
Because yeah,
No, that's not the Cowardly
Yeah,
Lion.
it is.
No, it's
I
not.
saw someone talk about it from the book.
That was to represent Toto in the basket.
I saw someone say that the cowardly lion, the little lion cub they saved, goes on to become the
Nope.
cowardly lion.
I encourage you to research that a little more because that was representing Toto in the basket.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away because people haven't seen it, and I want people to go see the movie. But
Oh
research
yeah,
it a little more.
It's damn good.
Yeah,
I know we talk a lot about like the unexpected kind of like a perfect movie, like when
Yeah.
we talk about Beau is Afraid. I cannot stress enough that I went to Wicked expecting not to care.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I've never seen the musical.
Yeah.
I've never read the book. I had a very weird misconception that it was just kind of a goofy story about, oh, they were roommates in college and then they became enemies because they like bickered or something. Like I had a very vastly different idea of what that story was.
They're not even enemies. Even
Yeah.
when she left,
Yeah.
she was like, "Go, it's like
Yeah.
be free, Simba."
And I walked out of that movie and was like, that was so fucking
Bro,
sick.
that final note that she
Yeah.
hits,
Oh my god.
like you've heard everybody and their mother sing that.
Yeah.
But knowing A, she did that live, B, it's different than any other version that you've ever heard.
Yeah.
And that run that she sang was live. Like
Mhm.
she did not sing that same run every time she sang that.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the biggest things about this movie for me was I really, really enjoyed the marketing campaign behind it.
Mhm.
And so I tweeted, I would love to interview Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. But what I really love about it is the evolution of John
Yeah.
M. Chu, the director, right? So I knew him from Step Up, and then he did this thing with some of the dancers from Step Up called LXD, the League of
Mhm.
Extraordinary Dancers. He directed a bunch of music videos, and then Crazy Rich Asians comes out,
Mhm.
and In the Heights, and it's
Fucking
just
love In the Heights.
and it's just like the evolution that this man has had. And as someone that was accepted to film school to be a director, like to watch him go from this, which was realistically a subpar written movie that was filmed wonderfully and amazing with
Sure.
all of these special dancers,
Yeah.
to something as big as Wicked. It was cool. And so I tweeted at it and I was like, I'd love to interview John M. Chu. And he fucking followed us and responded and was like, let's
Yeah.
do it. So I've got emails out to people to try and set that up. So we
Yeah,
may
that would
be
be
able
sick.
to, right? But
And I mean, honestly, like when you think about like,
just in case, real quick, just in case, John, just in case you decide to check out what we're talking about, that is why I want to interview you, because your evolution from here to here, and you're just going to continue to go from there.
oh yeah,
Big respect. And I
Yeah.
love everything about the vision that you have, the way you see things. And that's why I want to interview you.
yeah. And I mean, it's just great because we've gone for, years and years without having like real proper like movie musicals, like these big ensemble dancing and singing pieces,
Yeah.
like a true
Yeah.
musical. And the last two really great ones we've gotten were In the Heights
Yeah.
and Wicked.
John M. Chu directed movies.
Like the man knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows how to tell a story through that medium in a way
Well,
that's so engaging.
But what I love is that the dancers that he's worked with from Step Up, Christopher Scott choreographed Wicked.
Yeah.
And he was a part of that whole transition. I think Christopher Scott created LXD along with John M. Chu, if I remember
really?
correctly. Don't quote me on that. But I believe that Christopher Scott was one of the founders of that organization.
Yeah.
What's crazy is he's this unassuming white guy, but he's just got swag, man.
You got that fucking
And
swag?
I fucking love it. It's like someone who grew up watching So You Think You Can Dance and seeing all of these dancers become choreographers and things of that sort. Like to see the scale and then to find out like they planted fields of tulips
Yeah.
to film that rather than CGIing it in.
Yeah. There's
They
a
built
lot of
full scale Shiz University sets.
there's like a lot of care and love in that movie.
Yeah.
You can tell like the visual language of the movie and like the visual interpretation of everything. Like you really get a sense of like, okay, I mean, you see all these crazy weird things going on. You're like, what? I mean, it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
It fits visually what they're trying to represent Oz as in the.
Well, John M. Chu has done enough that he could have had this massive CGI budget for this
Yeah.
movie, but he chose to use a lot of practical effects.
Yeah.
The scene in the library where the shelves are rotating.
Yeah.
All practical.
Which is because I mean, that's how you get like, I mean, you get a performer like Jonathan Bailey
Yeah.
who can do that.
Who nobody
Why-
expected to be able to do that.
And so it's like, why wouldn't you use him in that way? And I mean, it's beautiful. It's a great looking movie. And I mean, for me, like, it's like I was always perplexed whenever you see like Beau is Afraid is like a perfect movie for you. I feel like this is the closest I've come to understanding that moment that you had with that movie.
Went in with no expectation. I mean, and you remember when we went to see, I walked out of Beau is Afraid going, what the fuck did we just watch?
Yeah.
And then literally on the ride home, I'm like, you're never going to believe this.
Yeah.
But I think it's a perfect movie.
Yeah. And I mean, we to the point where when I left Wicked, I was sitting and talking to the studio rep for so long about how much I loved it that Tony
left.
Tony was like,
Even
fuck
wait.
it, and just left. And I turned around, I was like, where'd Tony go?
Yeah.
I was just sitting.
You didn't even hit the bathroom first, and you normally come
Yeah.
out like a pregnant lady and run straight to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, no, I was in love with it. I love it. I can't wait for part 2. We got the soundtrack on vinyl at home, been listening to it constantly. I can't fucking wait. That movie was fantastic and easy and again, I always say for me, easy 5 out of 5.
Let me ask you this question. So we always talk about the perfect movie, and I know the perfect movie for you and I is different than some people who may stumble upon our podcast, right? Like, what makes a perfect movie? What makes Wicked not a perfect movie?
What would make it not a perfect
Like,
movie?
if we look at it, because neither of us have said that
Sure.
it is a perfect movie. We've said it's close.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say
What
for me,
is
it's a
it
perfect
about
movie.
the movie that puts it just outside of that category as opposed to in it?
I mean, for me, I actually would say it's a perfect movie because it hit everything where I was surprised by how much I loved it, surprised by the impact it had on me, how much I thought about it afterwards. I enjoyed myself the whole. There was no part of that movie where I wasn't engaged with it, which is pretty rare. I kind of jump around attention a lot, and so there are definitely most movies I feel a point where I'm a little bored. I didn't feel
I
it
think
here.
for me, I know the point where it stepped apart from a perfect movie. And I know I just was all over John M. Chu because it did the same thing in the Heights for me.
Okay.
In the final third of the movie, the pacing was off just a little bit. And it was the same in the Heights for me. And I enjoyed In the Heights.
Yeah.
And I enjoy Wicked, and probably my favorite movie of the year, right? But the pacing felt off in that third third of the movie. And I think that's what keeps it from being a perfect movie for me. It had the comedy, it had the drama, it had the suspense, it had the action, but there's just a pacing problem. And I don't know if it's story, if it's direction, or if it's writing.
Okay.
And I think that's why I can sit back and say, not perfect, but it's close.
Yeah.
You know?
I get you. Yeah. I think
that if I get to have that conversation with John M. Chu, I hope that I have the balls to be honest enough with him to talk to him about that and see if there's studio involvement, production involvement.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, was there an edit issue and they had to cut it, or something?
Listen, you'll have me and Chris behind you going, "Do it, pussy." Tell him you hated the last third.
I mean, it's really a matter of, whenever you have those conversations, there's always going to be a don't ask list, right? Let's not talk about these things.
Yeah.
My hope is that I have the gift of rapport in a lot of situations. And I'm hoping that if we have a rapport, that I feel that there's a rapport that I'll have the balls to ask that question. Because that's what made it not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Is the pacing in the final third. And that's it.
Yeah.
And if that's the biggest complaint that I have about a movie that I knew nothing about, that had all of these expectations going into it, I'll fucking take it.
Yeah. I've always thought I feel like I would love to get to the point where we get to interview more directors and stuff.
Well,
like
that's
that,
what I'm talking
because
about.
I thought for years, and I won't say it now, but I've thought for probably since I came onto the podcast, it was like 2 years now. I have one question I always want to ask a director, and I'll tell you when we're off there. I want to save it for if we ever get to have that moment.
Come on, pussy, say it.
Okay, fine. I'll say it. I always want to ask every film director, what is your favorite movie that is the most embarrassing one to call your favorite movie?
What is your guilty pleasure? Bro, we've talked about that.
Like the movie where you know that if you say, this is
if
one of my
you say
favorites,
it out loud, you
other
won't get
people
jobs.
are like, you're a film director.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know for me personally,
I'll fucking ask that question.
I always, whenever that question comes up, people are like, what's yours? It's Attack of the Clones. I think Attack of the Clones is damn near perfect Star Wars movie, and I don't care what the fuck you think about some of the dialogue. That movie's goddamn great.
And this is why people don't respect us as film journalists.
Attack of the Clones is not only the best prequel, but tied for the best Star Wars movie. Fucking fight me about it. I don't give a shit.
Fucking fight me.
Fucking fight me about it. It's great.
So, yeah, I mean, when we talk about perfect movies, I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on my letterbox tonight.
And make a perfect.
And I'm gonna
movies
make a
list.
perfect movies list because I need to start tracking those. I know Princess Bride is on it. Beau is Afraid, but I need to look back at some of the other movies that we've talked about.
I'm gonna do it as well. And you know what's gonna be first on there? Fucking Attack of the Clones. Fight me about it.
All right, tell us a little bit about Moana 2.
I gotta be honest with you. I can only tell you a little bit about Moana 2 because that movie was pretty forgettable.
Ooh, rough.
God,
Okay,
Should we just go get tacos right now?
here's my
Bro.
thing. Here's my thing.
the conversations that I have with Disney to try and make sure that we continue to be involved in shit.
Here's the thing.
Nobody likes a butt
I
kisser, Tony.
Really liked the first Moana. Okay? Like I enjoyed Moana and the first time I saw it, I walked out of that movie with like there was some of the music that I recognized and like I was like able to like hum the music and whatever. The next day when someone asked me like what'd you think of Moana 2? I was like, it was all right, but I don't feel like it lived up to the first one.
So you know
And-
who wrote the music for Moana 2?
I don't.
So
I know it was Lin-Manuel Miranda in the first one.
a couple years back, 2 TikTok artists wrote something called Bridgerton the Musical
Oh.
on TikTok.
Oh.
They released it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Millions of hits. Everybody loved it, and then they got sued.
Yeah.
Well, Disney hired them, and they wrote the music for Moana 2. They're like 26 and 28. They're the youngest.
Sure.
So
Which I mean, you know, good for them, and I'm happy they got that opportunity. The music wasn't even, I would say, bad. But the next day, when someone was like, "Well, what about the music?" I couldn't
Are you
think of
saying
a
it's forgettable?
yeah, I couldn't think of a single song from it. And if you asked me right now to tell you a line from
Not
one
even
of
the
those,
chee-hoo!
I mean, when you like, if you tell me, if someone were to sing it at me, I'd probably be like, okay, that was from Moana 2. If you asked me right now to tell you a single line of like a lyric from one
Well,
of those songs,
to be
I
fair,
can't
Lin-Manuel
fucking-
Miranda's fucking brilliant.
yeah. And so it's like it wasn't a bad movie. It just was not. You could. I feel like probably the biggest problem with that movie is you could tell that it was a season of TV that was converted into a movie. Like you could almost while watching the movie be like, all right, that's where an episode ended, and all right, that's where the next episode ended. Like because that means that's exactly
But it
what
wasn't.
happened. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was supposed to be a TV show.
It was
and they got-
originally written to be a series, but
Yeah.
before production started, they had converted it to a movie.
it not as well as they could have. Because I'm telling you, you haven't seen it yet, right?
No, but
When
I
you watch it,
researched it.
when you watch it, I promise you, you're gonna be able to tell like that was an episode. That was an episode.
Right,
That
but it
was an
wasn't.
episode.
It wasn't the production. The final production was not episodic.
No, the final production wasn't, but the writing, the original conception of it and writing of it as an episodic.
I've read a lot of reviews on it. That's the first one I've ever read where they say it felt like a series.
Yeah, I mean that's like maybe I was more alert to it because I'm kind of worried that's what's gonna happen with Mandalorian and Grogu.
Mhm.
And so I'm kind of like, I was kind of testing, like when I went into this, I specifically thought like, okay, I'm kind of excited to see how Disney handles the conversion of a season to a movie. I still wouldn't even say, I would still give it like a 3 out of 5. Like it was a fun movie. It's just not,
Did you go by yourself?
yeah. And you know, and that's one thing I'll give it. There was a ton of kids at that screening. Like a lot of people brought their kids with them, and the kids all seemed to love it. And that's the most
I
important
think that
part
mom's
of like,
group was involved in that.
oh,
screening, too.
maybe I don't know, but that's the most important part of a Disney movie like that. Like,
By the way, if you're a single man, going to mom's group screenings is the best place to pick up a man. I just want to say that for the record.
like, who gives a shit what a 32-year-old man thinks about Moana 2 if the kid loved it? If the kids there loved it, that's the most important part.
Oh shit! Did I forward you the Mufasa screening?
No.
Yeah, December 12th.
Oh, okay. Well, I got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Mufasa Strikes Back.
What?
What? Mufasa Strikes Back?
The
They just
live action
showed off a
Mufasa.
popcorn bucket for
Oh.
that, by the way. And It's
Yeah.
just Pride Rock.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool actually.
It'd been funny if it was like dead Mufasa.
And you're just
It was
eating out of his
That was
carcass.
the eating out.
You're just eating out Mufasa.
Whoa! Eating out of.
You're eating out
Of.
Mufasa's ass.
Okay.
Disney, please let us go to more screens.
Never again.
We'll cut that. We'll cut
The
that.
amount of work that I have put in that gets shit on every single episode.
So I mean, Moana.
I'm
2,
gonna make you for season 8. You deal with all of the studios.
Isn't season 7 the one coming up though? So
Yes.
so I get like a whole season to prepare.
Yes.
Okay. It's just gonna be me sending emails and go, please,
I'm sorry, I
Please
didn't mean what I
understand.
said.
Tom Cruise is cool.
Speaking of Tom Cruise is cool,
He's not.
the teaser that came out for
Mission Impossible.
I'm an apologist, man.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
You know this. Come on.
Okay, but here's the thing. You always tell me to separate the art from the artist,
Yeah.
which means you shouldn't be an apologist for the fact that Tom Cruise is a piece of shit. You should just be okay with watching.
I'm not
his
an
movies.
apologist that Tom Cruise is a piece of shit.
Okay.
I'm apologist in that I appreciate the movies that he makes.
I wouldn't say that makes you an apologist then. Because if someone looks at you and says Tom Cruise is a monster human being, you'd be like, yeah, well, yeah,
I don't know that he's a monster human being.
he's the talking head for an abusive church. But that man did throw himself out of the Burj Khalifa, so that's pretty cool.
Off of Burj Khalifa.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you pedantic bitch. You know what I meant.
Well, so did Vin Diesel. Nobody's worshiping his
Yeah, well,
ass.
fuck Vin Diesel too. I don't care.
Got me.
Fucking Vin Diesel, one note
That's the
bullshit.
first time you've ever used the word pedantic correctly.
You know what? Vin Diesel, we got beef. Vin Diesel's the new one
Why do you have beef with Vin Diesel?
because Paul Mescal's off the plate. Vin Diesel
But you said you have to find someone who's not problematic.
is
Vin
Diesel
Diesel
problematic?
is highly problematic.
Oh, so it's like I
He's
should.
a fucking diva.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so he should be fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. You're not. You're off the plate, but you're still on the list. In case you're watching, he's like the number one.
I think Jacob Elordi is a good one. I think you need to create beef with Jacob
Tony.
Elordi.
Jacob Elordi. Fuck you, you dumbass
That
bitch.
pained you to say that. didn't it?
You little fucking idiot.
You're like, I love the kissing booth.
You-
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Jacob Elordi, you come here. You come to me. You leave whatever
You
bullshit.
come to me with your 6'7"
Yeah.
perfect Australian
you
accent
come
having
to me
ass.
from whatever bullshit country you live in, because it ain't America, baby. You
Okay.
get right here in our studio. It will give you the address, even though we won't tell anyone else where it is. And I'm
The
gonna
minute
tell
he's
you,
standing in front of you, you were gonna be like drool.
yeah, I'll fuck him.
Right in the middle
But
of
for
beautiful
now-
downtown Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yes.
But for now, Jacob Elordi, get on the list, you stupid idiot. You better find a cool movie to be in soon. Dumbass. Fucking bitch.
That hurt you to say all that.
Little
didn't it?
Little
So,
bit. It's
what's
kind
that?
of funny that I was like gonna do Barry Keoghan and now it's Jacob Elordi. It's
All
like,
right, you have 5 minutes to tell us about Dragon Age.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I have to pee. Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, it's almost time for us to be done recording. You have
Okay.
5
Need
minutes.
some tacos, man.
Guys, listen, you're saying that. It's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go home and go to bed. I'm so tired.
You are going to eat.
If you are late to
taco.
work tomorrow, I'm writing your ass up.
Deal.
Talk, go.
Dragon Age the Veilguard was so fucking good.
Are you playing it on console or PC?
I played it on PS5.
Okay.
My partner played it on PC, so they get to use all the mods, and I'm really excited that you get to use all the mods and I don't. That's so cool.
Meh.
But Dragon Age the Veilguard, so fucking good. It is like it's not the last Dragon Age game, but it is the culmination of the story the last 4 Dragon Age games have been telling. And as a conclusion to, I mean, Dragon Age Origins came out in 2008, 2009 or something like that. So Tony was like 42. I was in
Wow.
high school. I remember like starting those games with my friends, playing through all of them. It's been 10 years. The last one, Dragon Age Inquisition, came out in 2014.
I worked for Microsoft when the original Dragon Age launched.
You were old enough to have a job? I was in high school. I was a child. Legally, I couldn't work yet. That's nuts. Anyway, Dragon Age Inquisition came out in 2014.
It's been a great show, everybody.
10
Thank
years
you for
ago. And it ended on a cliffhanger of like, I mean, spoiler alert for the 10-year-old game, that someone who you've been with through the whole game was the actual secret villain. And the whole promise of Veilguard, which is the new one, was like, there's going to be payoff to that story. What's really happening? What's going on? What's their plan? And man, that game fucking paid off, dude. 10 years worth of wait. It would be hard to nail it like that, but they fucking knocked it out of the park, dude. It was a great emotional story. The graphics are fantastic. I love the art direction they went with in it. The fucking combat is
I've seen
awesome.
better.
You don't like the art style?
Mm-mm.
I figured you wouldn't. It's very D&D
Mhm.
esque. My biggest complaints with the game, probably there's some gaps in the writing. It's a little rushed. It did start its production life as a live service game.
Oh, does it feel like a live service game? Like, can you tell when the live service would have cut it off?
Actually, yeah, there are a lot of points where you're like, okay, that's definitely a holdover from the live service time. So some of that stuff is a little disappointing, especially in like Dragon Age has always been and BioWare games in general have always been very heavy on your interactions with your companions. And the way some of the companion
Are
interactions.
you lonely? Is that why you love these kinds of games?
I'm not lonely at all. Some of the interactions with the companions, the way they're kind of dripped out in this game, you can tell it was meant to take
So
place.
the clothing
over,
is really nice.
Shut the fuck up. It's like
I
drip
mean,
fed
you just
to
said
you.
dripped out.
You can tell that it was meant to play out
Grip.
over a long like live service season, and so that's why some
So
of the pacing.
Destiny too.
Yeah, some of the pacing's a little off. It does lead to some some plot lines aren't given the like.
Is there
importance
gay
they
sex
should.
with a beaver?
With a beaver?
I mean, it depends on what animal you choose in Baldur's
Jesus.
Gate, right?
It's a bear. It's
It's
a
a
bear. You
bear,
fucking
sorry.
Baldur's Gate. And
There's an extra V and an E in there. I'm sorry.
I mean, listen. Here's the thing. Dragon Age: The Veilguard, extremely woke certified, and I say that in the good way because we should want games to be more inclusive and make people feel included in them. Super gay game, very gay. Very happy to tell you that and tell everyone that if you're looking for a game where you're gonna feel represented, there's not a lot that's missing from this game, and that's why a lot of weird right wingers fucking hate it. Because there's a non-binary character in it, Tony.
Oh,
There's
no.
also a trans character.
Oh,
Oh my
God,
god,
it's
they're
the end
bringing
of-
it to the kids.
End of
Fuck you.
civilization. Groomers.
There is actually honestly multiple characters in the game who you wouldn't even know are trans unless you read the background material in the game, like the
Which
codex
you do.
entries,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I had no idea. And still, weird right wing grifters are online, like they're actually trying to trans your kids because there's like 2 or 3 of them in this game. Fuck you.
I think
Even
it's
the
funny that
menus
the
are
only person
translucent.
who has commented in our chat tonight is a right wing guy.
Oh,
What?
is it? Well, listen.
What
As
is it?
long as you're not saying that the game is, trying to woke mafia your kids, because God forbid you could use they them pronouns for your character in it.
I was just saying, even the game menus are translucent.
Oh,
Okay, you're
Trans
fired.
everywhere.
Great, thank you everyone.
Oh, should I roll music now?
I give it a 5 out of 5. I really loved it. I could talk for hours about it, honestly. But
Have you played Once Human yet?
I'm going to throw outro music on you now. Put some
In
pressure on you.
Once Human, you can take the clothes off and they're just in bra, and you can adjust booty size.
Lovely for you.
And the best part about adjusting the booty size is the underwear size doesn't change,
well, you can do that in Dragon Age,
which
as
is
well.
really funny. I thought.
You can do that in Dragon Age. Change the butt and the bulge. And there's sex scenes in Dragon Age. I'm in love with a wonderful woman in Dragon Age named Nev Gallus. She's my new BioWare wife.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for checking out Popcorn Tribunal tonight. Don't forget, visit our partners, OBS Bot, Glitch Energy, Space Panda Delta, Coffee Dudes Coffee, and last but not least, Pup and the Pepper. Check them out. Support indie podcasts.
Not podcasts from Indiana. Stop insisting we're from Indiana. We're from elsewhere, but independently produced podcasts.
Elsewhere, Montana.
Yes.
Elsewhere, Montana.
Yeah.
Yes.
From St. Elsewhere.
Thank you for being here.
Hospital.
Mom and Dad, he'll text you when he gets home.
Yeah, I will. And Mom, we still got to talk about the Dragon Age game, and I got to tell you about the plot.
After we force him to eat tacos.
All right, turn the music
I'm not
up so
going
I
to eat
can-
tacos, Chris.
Turn the music up so I can walk away and he can talk about something for 5 minutes.
Oh man, I don't even know what I've got today. I mean,
Ooh,
the
time's running
tangent
out.
really already happened. I mean, if you're not giving Veilguard a chance because you're mad about a non-binary character or trans characters, I'm gonna be real with you. I think you should just jump in the ocean, tuck your limbs in, and just let yourself drift to the bottom.
Thank you
Just
guys. Have a great night.
Ride the tides down to the seafloor.
Thank you. Have
where
a good
you
night.
can tell the fish and the sharks
Bye.
about how much the trans
We
people
don't
are
wish
trying to kill
death
your
on
kids.
anyone.
I'm not saying they have to die. I'm just saying they need to drift
Bye.
down to the ocean. You can all form your
Bye.
own little bigot colony at the bottom.
Bye.
colony.
and you can talk to the sharks and be like, "Oh, trans people, they
Bye.
tried to trans my kids." No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You're just stupid.
Bye.
Yeah. See you later. I'll text you when I'm home, Mom. I'm pretty sure my dad's at work.
Night
So-
night.
Woo! Woohoo!